Hi, everyone. This is Gary Wilson, and welcome to this week's live Path to Prosperity webinar. For those of you in the Investor Agent Trainer Program, flipping for profits, rental profits without the pain, turning rental problems into real estate profits, wholesaling, and did I miss one? Investor Agent, flipping, buying rentals, managing rentals, right, and wholesaling, and of course, Investor Agent. So welcome aboard, one and all, and a welcome aboard to all the new folks, mainly from New Hampshire, Rhode Island, let's see, in and around Ontario and upstate New York. So welcome aboard, guys, and everyone else from California to Maine and everywhere in between. So I just went over what we're going to cover today. I'm going to go over that again here in a second, but just a wee bit of housekeeping first. During the summer months, I get it, it's vacation time, but you know, the show must go on. And if you're going to be successful in real estate, whether you're investing or an agent or the both, which is what I really encourage you to do, you got to keep the ball rolling. So marketing, advertising cannot stop. I know it's going to be tempting to slack off because maybe you got some transactions coming in because all the work you did in April and May, and I get it. But I can tell you from almost 33 and a half years experience, don't fall into that trap. We call it porpoising, right? Porpoising. Your production goes up and down. It's probably because your marketing and advertising is not consistent and persistent. You got to keep it going all the time, 24/7, 365, never stop, okay? Now, the bigger you get, the more you can automate things. You can pay for stuff to be done for you or not pay for it to be automated. In the beginning, you just got to roll up your sleeves and do it, okay? I wish I could tell you there was a magic button you flip and the light comes on and all the money comes out, but that's not realistic, okay? What's realistic is you building a business first, building the model and then replicating the model, duplicating yourself, automating systems, procedures, and processes, okay? So real quick, make sure whether you're watching this live, which is what we're doing now, or you're getting the recording, always read the rest of the email that Beverly sends out, because we do make changes to the systems, and you need to be aware of those changes, okay? Also scheduling updates, things like that. Like, for example, the Boston event's coming August 23rd, 24th, 25th in Cambridge, which is right over the water from Boston. Essentially, it's the Boston metro area, Hyatt Regency. And the cool thing about this one, guys, is we got more investors coming, okay? So if you're an investor agent, you're looking to connect with investors, and we're talking some people that invest in multiple places like me, you're coming to the right place. So I hope to see a lot of you there. In fact, do me a favor on your chat box. Just give me a shout out. Let me know if you're coming to Boston. Now's the time to start thinking about flights, because I believe it's about 6 weeks away. And we found out that's about the magic time frame. Six weeks in advance of an event is when you want to get your tickets. If you wait sooner than that, you wait longer than that, what happens, you'll notice in the summertime, ticket prices are going to go up, okay? And I got to tell you guys, that time of year in that part of the country is pretty spectacular. I mean, it is awesome. I just spent the weekend on Cape Cod two weekends ago. Freaking awesome, unbelievable, just flat out beautiful. Lots of great food, great people. Very few places I can say I felt more comfortable at home and people more hospitable than that part of the country. Salt of the earth, original settlers. I mean, Plymouth Rock is there, my gosh. So in any case, enough of that. Some of you, a lot of you said you're going, cool. Hey, let me see here. Who was this? Let's see. Toter, awesome, dude. Good to see you there. Tony Wallace, okay, excellent. Lena, Christine, Lewis, hot dog. We got a Canadian going too, man. So Lewis, I look forward to seeing you there, buddy. Lots more. Let's try to do. So Lewis, set up another strategy call with me. Let's just do that, okay? So in any case, make sure you look and see what's in the emails from Beverly. That's the main point there. On here, we use the chat box to communicate. I can bring you on live, and we actually did that last night for the commercial development program. And it's kind of neat. We recorded the whole thing with the participants live. So that was pretty neat. So in any case, tonight, without further ado, we're going to talk about more marketing, okay? We generally do this about once a year, so definitely pay attention, get the recording, just take crib notes tonight. And in this stuff, you just got to try it out. Just try it. You know, today it's Tuesday. Try it tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Try something to set yourself up for something on Saturday, right? Just make the commitment. The biggest difference between people that succeed and those that don't is it's the action thing. I mean, it's like, and I know it sounds so obvious, but it's true. My gosh, I can teach you everything that I know in the world, which wasn't it's not everything, right? But boy, if you just really just meet me halfway, guys, and just implement. Lauren Timken, I don't think she's on right now. Lauren's in Santa Barbara. Just had a call with her, and she's executing. She's getting stuff out the door, man. That's just, you have to swing the bat. I wish I could tell you every time you swing, you're going to get on base, but again, that's not realistic. The point is, every good, successful person keeps swinging the bat because you don't know what pitch you're going to hit, right? Okay, so for tonight, we're going to talk about marketing, and I'm going to try to get all this in. And I know it's, for some reason it's dinner time if you're Central Mountain, or if you're on the West Coast, it's 4 o'clock, of course. But in any case, let's just get right to it. First things first, I wanted to just talk about joint ventures because one of the things that we really teach and advocate a lot is doing workshops, being in front of your people on a consistent basis. We recommend do it monthly. Start off small. If you got 6 people, my first one, guys, I had 6 people show up. That was it. All right. But it grew and grew and grew. We had people on to start off with 20, 25 people, and doing way better than I did when I first started. Okay, but it's because we got everything figured out now. We have checklists for these things. There's launch sequences. There's marketing you can do to supplement the marketing you're doing. So it's all part of that. In any case, what I'm getting at is you can do joint ventures with other service providers related to real estate. Now, I want you to write these down. Okay, here's the 6 people you should be doing, minimum 6 people you should be doing joint ventures with, okay? And I'll explain more about joint venture here in a second, but just write this down. You can do joint ventures with lenders, right? People lending money. And don't just think traditional banker, the Wells Fargo, PNC Bank, Bank of America. And don't even just think mortgage brokers. It's easy to do because they're everywhere, and they'll tell you they can get money from everywhere, okay? But I recommend, this is my personal opinion, okay? Bring in a local lender. I had to swap messages with Jorge today from Beaverton, Oregon, and he was working with a mortgage broker, not getting what he wanted. I said, you got to go to community banks. Go to the community banks. Even credit unions are great if you're part of a credit union. I like local community banks because they get the job done. Quite frankly, some of you know what I'm talking about. In fact, if you've experienced that, give me a shout out on the chat box and say, yep, Gary, I have more success with community banks than most other banks. Now, I generally had about 5 of them that I work with, 5 community banks at any one time. What I'm getting at is do a joint venture with them. Bring them to your workshop. Have them bring food that night, okay? Cut your costs. Let them pick up the bill for the food. Hors d'oeuvres, snacks, cookies, tea, coffee, whatever. Let them have the floor that night after you've done your housekeeping. Let them have the floor and talk about their different lending packages for flipping homes, for buying rentals, blanket mortgages, things like that. And they'll bring in examples, bring in case studies, all right? And if they're really good, they'll bring people with them who've done business with them, all right? That's a smart thing for the lenders to do. But lenders is one of them. Attorneys, obviously, so critical in our business, my gosh. They'll talk about closings, how you actually prepare for a closing. What happens if a closing doesn't go right? Landlord-tenant law, okay, that's a biggie. Helping you set up LLCs for your own business if you have property management, which you should, or brokerage, which you may want to eventually do, or even better yet, the ownership of your own investment properties. And even if you don't invest yourself, use the information to appeal to your clients and give them the information, okay? In fact, bring them to the workshop, obviously, right? So lenders, attorneys, contractors, great idea. Bring in contractors. Talk about, this is what you need to do to help us get the project done on time and on budget. Don't keep making changes, just stuff like that. So contractors, appraisers, so that your flippers will know what's bringing value today. They know the nitty-gritty critical details on what they should be doing on a flip to get the most profit from the flip. Housing inspectors for people that are in rentals, okay? Almost every municipality has some kind of an occupancy permit process, okay? So get that person in there. Boy, what's funny is I first did this, contractor, I thought they were going to shoot him. It turns out it was one of the best ones we ever had. I thought the inspector was going to get, basically tarred and feathered. They didn't. They loved the fact that an inspector was there telling them what they actually need to look for, how we as consumers can prepare for the inspector. So housing inspector, that's 4 so far. Let's see, appraiser, inspector, lender, and attorney, contractor, that's 5, is that right? Yeah. Oh, insurance guy. They're a hoot. Insurance guys have all the great stories on what happens with properties that are being rented out or flips that didn't go right and caught on fire and whatever, In any case, let those guys come in and have the floor for the night. all I ask is this is what I do. I don't charge them anything. I don't make them pay me a fee to be there. What I ask is, you do a good job with my clients and I'll bring you back again next year, okay? And better yet, if you want to come in every single month and just sit off to the side and set up a little booth, that's fine with me too. Just don't interrupt the show and steal the show. Let the other guy up there do his talking, okay? The overtime, just a quick pause here. Yes, we did turn it into a money-making venture. Number one, obviously you're making commissions from doing this, so you're helping yourself get better deals on your own investments. But as the thing grows, you might want to do like what most of us do is you then turn it into a for-profit. In other words, you move away from the library and start charging a monthly nominal fee, $10, $20 for something nominal, not much. And then you can charge the vendors a vendor fee to be there, charge them $50 a month or whatever you want to do, to $300 a year or something like that, so that they can be there every single month and make sure they always have the floor at least once a year. So in any case, what I'm having you do is start small and think big. So start small and think big. All right, in the beginning, everything's free, nothing, if you don't charge the vendors anything. Over time, you can start to charge them because they'll start getting business and they will pay you for it. If you charge them $100 a month and they're getting a deal every single month, that's worth $100. They spend more than that trying to get one deal right now. So in any case, something really, really critical here is always leave every other month available just for you to be in front of your people, okay? Don't have a speaker every single month, just every other month, okay? Not every month, but every other month. In any case, joint ventures. You can also go to their place of business and do a lunch and learn with them. They'll bring in their clients and you bring the food. You can do joint ventures with them all day long. Do a joint summer picnic. We did that before. That was huge, hundreds of people. Okay, so joint ventures, I think you get the idea. Team up with people related to your business, okay? All right, next thing is having your own website. If you go into the silver level, let's see, silver level, so mybusinessservices.com, silver level, go into the recordings, guys, go back to 2016 and look for, it's in either March or April. So it's going to be 03-2 digits for the day of the month, -16. And it's either March or early April, where Paul shows you how to get set up a free website. Again, you can use what your broker gives you, whatever broker you're with. But my feeling is you should always have your own personal website that you control, okay? You don't have to spend a lot of money doing it. On your website, you can obviously promote properties and market properties. And if you don't have any, go to other agents in your office and say, look, I really think I can sell that property you got on 123 Main Street. Would you mind if I did a little quick promo for it on my website? You still get the listing side, I'll get the buyer side, which is going to happen 2/3 of the time anyways. Just do that. But main thing is build a website you said you can have content on, okay? Free reports, free books. Give the books on my website at mybusinessservices.com. There's a whole list of free books. Just take them. They're free, okay? Put those on there. You can repost the blogs on the My Business Services website. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can take those blogs and repost them on your own website and put your name on it, okay? At the bottom, you just say courtesy of Gary Wilson, but up top, they think it's you, okay? Let's see, what else can you do? Even the books that are paid, called Premier Books, you get them for free, but I believe it's okay for you to send them electronically to your clients. If they get a printed version, you got to pay for it, okay? But you can send the electronic versions of those books, guys, help them figure out how to flip homes and buy rentals. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it helps out your client, helps them do things the way you need them to do things. And his website is critical. If anybody has an example of a website you want to showcase it, just let me know. I'll click over to it and show it to you, okay? Any case, local publications. Let me just do a screen share here. Hang on one second, guys. All right. Let's see. Let me go here. Is that where I want to go? Push zoom. Nope. I want to go there. Let me see if hang on just one second, guys. I'm going to go do a go back to my. Here it is. All right, now let me do the screen share. Hang on just one second, guys. I'll get this straight in a second. So screen share, and I'm going to show you. I guess it's this maybe. There it is. Yep. Okay, so share. So guys, this is the new and improved Craigslist. And the reason I wanted to show it first is amongst the online tools you can use, it's free. and it's now in U.S. and Canada both. Here's some rentals up in Toronto. Okay, so a lot of people didn't know this, but it's not, Kijiji is not the only horse in a race up in Ontario anymore. Craigslist has been up here for quite a bit, and they're making a real good inroad. So in any case, and by the way, for all the Americans online, take a look at the rental rates. Okay, if you look at 3,800 a month, that's a nice place, by the way. 2,150 a month. This is what people are paying up here. Okay, so Craigslist, it's easy. It's so easy to navigate. Okay. And all you have to do is set yourself up here to post your own rentals for sale. Okay, if you have rentals, you can put them out here. If you're managing other people's rentals, you can put them out here. Right now, you can do a more advanced version, but just remember this: Craigslist has its own rules, and if they think you're being spammy, they'll shut you down. Okay, so you only want to advertise something if it's legitimate. You don't want to just keep putting stuff out there, blanketing the Craigslist. We call it a Craigslist takeover. I used to do that. It actually did work, by the way. And all the other brokers in town, quite frankly, to put it mildly, didn't like me. They said, Gary Wilson's doing a Craigslist takeover. I did this down in Tidewater, Virginia, 5 years ago, I think it was. Maybe it was 6 years ago. Basically, just totally dominated the landscape, right? And I had agreements. Check this out, guys. This was a blast from the past. I actually had signed agreements with realtors in different offices that I could promote their listings, and I could distribute the leads any way I wanted to. And I would tell them they're going to sell the properties, which we did. And they still get the listing side. They can still do their own promotions, but nobody ever saw the promotions because all they saw was mine. And we basically just dominated the landscape. We created a magazine called Hampton Roads Real Estate Guide, okay, to compete with the big publications. And I couldn't believe we even got the URL for that, but we just totally crushed it. So matter of fact, write that down as a tip. Build your own magazine, online magazine. Later on, you can print it and call it whatever you want to call it. Toronto Rental Real Estate Guide or something like that, or Beverly Hills, and get specific. Okay. If you get too broad, you're trying to be all things to all people, and it's better if you can niche it down. So in any case, Craigslist. Okay. Sister tool, Kijiji. There you go. So apartments, condos for rent. Let me see if we can get some good examples here. There you go. $1,600 a month for a nice bachelor suite, Lakeview Towers. I know exactly where it is. So right now, for those of you who are Canadians, I'm actually in a Danforth right now, staying with some friends. Just a little suburb community for Toronto. In any case, Kijiji, Craigslist. Those are some of the easy ones, right? Now, next would be. Actually, before we move on, I want to give you some publications, but let's do this first. Back on these websites here, Kijiji, Craigslist, there's plenty of others you can use. Always remember this. You're selling the sizzle, not the steak. So a lot of realtors make the mistake of a lot of people renting apartments. They make the mistake of only providing benefits features and very few benefits. So they'll say, whatever, 1,200 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, balcony, what have you, $1,800 a month. What they should be doing is saying something like this, and this is what I want you to write down. Your first sentence should always be something that's appealing to any of the senses or the emotions. So the sense of sight, smell, sound, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, whatever. Appealing to emotions, you would say something like this. Imagine waking up to the view of the sunrise over Lake Ontario from your 18th floor balcony. All right. And then show them the first picture should be a picture of the view from the living room looking out through the balcony over to the lake with the sun coming up. Okay. So that's the kind of ad that's going to get people's attention. Don't just say 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom and show them the pictures of the bedrooms and bathrooms. You're going to do that, but you're going to start off with something that's going to grab their attention. And always remember this. Whenever you start something and you have the word you in the first 1 or 2 or 3 words, all right, or something that's like the word imagine, it's a trigger. It's a subconscious trigger. And people cannot ignore anything that has the word you in it, okay? Many of you see me teach the letter concept. In the letter, we got the word you or your 10 times in the first 4 sentences because people can't ignore it. Subconsciously, they can't ignore it. It's been proven. Anyways, back to this. Be creative, be artistic. If you're thinking, I'm not going to have an artistic bone in my body, it doesn't matter. Just remember those few brief basic guidelines. An emotional appeal or appeal to the senses first, and if you can include the word you or your in there, it's awesome, okay? And a picture of whatever it is you're describing, right? And then you can get into, you know, spacious bedrooms, plenty of room for your family, modern appliances, whatever you want to say. In any case, just a little bit of food for thought on the online tools, Kijiji and Craigslist. Okay, now I'm going to talk about restaurants for a second. One of my favorite ways to do a number of things. Number one is help my traditional owner-occupied business and also help my rental business. Okay, so let me just take, for example, rentals first. Let's say you've got some rentals available. They're vacant in a particular area, whether you're near shopping, restaurants, within a few blocks of shopping and restaurants, for example. What I would do is I go to a local restaurateur, particularly a newer one, somebody that's just opened up a restaurant. They're easy pickings. All right, go right in there and bring your business collateral. Let them know you're a realtor. Let them know you've got vacant apartments in the area. You're managing several apartments, and you want to do a joint venture with them, where if they agree to give you a coupon, it has to be a nice looking, not like a cheap piece of paper, but something that you'll split the cost on producing with them, something like a postcard type material. Okay, it allows whoever bears the card to the restaurateur to buy one dinner and get one free, buy a meal, get a dessert for free. My recommendation is always go for the buy one get one free, because if you just say get a dessert with any meal, chances are whoever has it may come in by themselves. Right? It's just one card, one person. So always go for the 2 for 1 day. Buy one meal, get one free. All right. And the reason is this: is what I would do is I'd take those and use them as an incentive for my good tenants to recommend the vacancies to their good friends. Okay. Remember, birds of a feather flock together, or the old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Here's what I'm getting at. Your best tenants probably hang around other people who are like them. Okay. And you want to have people like them in your other vacant units. Would you agree? Okay, so let's agree on that. What you can do is, from time to time, when you have peak vacancies, like in the summertime, or worse yet, let's say you got vacancies around the holidays, not a good thing. What you can do is, to prevent you from risking getting in bad tenants, go to your good tenants, okay, and say, as a good neighbor reward, I'm going to give you this buy one get one free dinner at the new restaurant down the street. And by the way, if you refer to me and you want to ask to make this part of your offering, please refer to me up to 3 people who you believe might make good neighbors for yourself, because we have vacancies in the area, and now some of your best friends could live close by you. So, and give them one coupon for them and one for each of the 3 people they're going to refer to you. You now got potentially up to 3 referrals for good tenants coming in for every one good tenant you have. Okay, great idea. You might get 1, you might get 3, you might get none, you might get 2. But the point is, again, if you don't swing the bat, the answer is 0. So my suggestion is, for something that costs very little or free, I would recommend doing it. So in any case, what you can do is, then those people come in, the restaurateur is happy, because if he does a good job and feeds them a good meal, chances are they'll come back for another meal. Okay, now for the cost of 1 free meal, he's got himself repeat clients. Okay, any case, restaurant business is tough, guys, and these guys are looking for any leg up on a situation they can get. Now, here's the other way I use it. Homeowners, people that you're buying and selling, you're helping them buy and sell their own homes, is just a free little stocking stuffer. I do the same thing. Now, I don't wait to the closing table. That's the wrong time to ask for a referral. As soon as you meet a new prospect and they've agreed to let you represent them as a buyer, or they've agreed to let you list their property, and you get this in writing, by the way, you either get a buyer's agency agreement or a listing agreement. What you do is you reward them with a couple of those cards. I suggest do 2. Give them 2 for 1 meal cards, okay? And they can bring a couple with them. and each couple pays their own bill, so they get to each use their own card, buy one meal, get one free. And tell them, again, refer somebody to me, please, as a reward. And also congratulations on getting your house. Here's 2 coupons, a nice postcard type material, to buy one meal, get one free at the restaurant just down the road from where you just bought your house. And always remind them, think of your coworkers, your family, friends, fellow church members, parents of your children's friends. Okay, that's a big one. People always forget about their children. Always use that relationship, the parents of your children's friends. Okay, because do you think your kids would want to be living next door to their best pals, right? Or on the same street or the same cul-de-sac? So in any case, that's the 2 ways I use restaurant cards. What I don't do is I actually don't do a business card display on the counter at the restaurant. Never had much success with that, but what I would do is in a restaurant, they also have those placemats. And if it's not a high-end restaurant, but like the neighborhood pizza place or the neighborhood favorite diner where they let you advertise on their placemat, I would do that because it actually works. We got results from that. But don't just give them the business card ad, guys. On the placemat at the restaurant, we've all seen them. You go in there and it's the realtor has put in basically a picture of their business card. That's not what you want to do. You want to give them something to do. So please write this down. On the placemat at the restaurant, you're going to pay them a fee to be on there, by the way, okay? Put in there something, say, for a free market analysis, visit this website, and make it a QR code so they can take a picture of it with their phone, okay? Or scan it with their phone. Give them a QR code, right? Free analysis, free market analysis, right? Or how about this? Free list of homes for sale in your area, or free property search, whatever you want to do. Free list of investor properties in the area. QR code, scan this, click this. Don't ever just say Jane Doe, your neighborhood's favorite realtor. I'm number 1, right? Blah, 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 with a phone number and email address. No, don't talk about yourself. Don't brag about yourself. Give them something that they can actually use. So I hope you guys wrote that one down. Huge difference, okay? Any case, and then what happens when they click on the QR code and go to whatever website that is, whatever page it is, what do you capture? Yep, you capture you capture their phone number and email, and a minimum email, okay? So in any case, placemats, right, restaurants. By the way, any questions on that? Let me go to the chat box. We do have a question here. Hang on one second. Oops, I got to switch over to the, there we go. You got junk for sellers works well. Yeah, thanks, Lewis. That's a good one. So let's see here. What's next? Restaurants. Oh, churches. If you go to church, if you're a church member, church, synagogue, temple, wherever you go worship. They usually have a publication, a weekly publication. They often will let you advertise yourself. Same exact principle as the restaurant placemat. Don't make the mistake of just giving them an image of your business card. It's cheap, it's easy, and it doesn't work. What you do is give them a QR, and you can get QR codes for free, by the way, okay? But give them something to do. Give them some activity. Be creative. Don't just offer free market analysis or free list of properties. Give them something to do. Say, for your favorite rental analysis tool, click here and give them one of the rental analysis tools that we give you, okay? Put it on your website. I don't care. I mean, that's what it is there for use. Guys, all the tools that we give you, calculators, spreadsheets, all the websites we give you for researching people and properties, they're not just for you. They're intended for you to share with your clients. This whole program is designed not just to give you marketing, but to give you stuff to give to your clients to help solidify those relationships with you, so you make more money. Okay. So in any case, churches. Generally, they want you to be a member of the church. If you're a member, they'll let you get a discount. If you're not a member, they'll still let you do it, but they're going to probably charge you more, okay? Believe it or not, church is a business, and they got to raise money. Okay, churches. Let's see here. Let's do this. We're doing pretty good on time. I'm going to switch gears and go to printed publications, okay? So First one is Penny Saver, okay? Now, what's interesting, this is London, Ontario, where I live, at least part-time, okay? But look at that. They're not just in Canada. Ontario, this is where we are. We're in London, Ontario, Canada. They're in the States and in Canada. They're also in UK. They're also in New Zealand. So the cool thing is about today's world, at least in the case of English-speaking countries, they all go back to the same set of common law, Old English law. A lot of the same business practices, a lot of the same tax practices, real estate practices are all very similar. So a lot of the stuff we're learning here, if you've noticed, guys, most of us are Americans. I'm, of course, American Canadian. Pay attention to who's coming to these other conferences that we're going to. A lot of them are coming from, you guessed it, New Zealand, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada. Because everything that we teach that you're using in the United States is working elsewhere too. And they're also investing over here, guys. Make the connections, come to the events, because they'll bring in foreign money. I've seen time after time again, especially if you're a foreigner yourself and you're from a non-English speaking country, if you speak Mandarin, Cantonese, Chinese, boy, you've got a wonderful opportunity here to help your fellow countrymen invest in the United States. And once you make one happy, I know you know this, if you know what I'm talking about. If Abigail, you're on here, it's easy to bring in other funds. Same thing with like Israel, seen that dozens of times. One of my favorite clients going back years, Ami and Joel, two guys, flippers, they brought in millions of dollars every year from Israel, okay, because they were doing a good job, and I got all those commissions. In any case, Penny Saver is usually very, very inexpensive. There's an online version and printed version. So a couple of quick tips here, okay, on a Penny Saver. Always pay extra to build a box around your ad. I wonder if I can find one online here. Let's see, what am I searching for? I'm searching for a rental. And let's just put London, Ontario. Let's see if we got any rentals. There we go. London flat room rentals, reserve online your home, blah, blah, blah. I want to find a specific owner's ad. Let's click on one of these. Oh, wait, that's for my business center, executive center. Let's go back up here. Apartment for rent in London. Here we go. It's Airbnb. Sorry, guys, that was basically an ad for an ad. So let's go back to where we were. The point is this is printed version, online version. And what I want you to do is when you do an ad on Penny Saver, always pay extra to build a box around your ad, okay? The reason is it's a Penny Saver ads are very rudimentary. There's not much you can do with them. You can increase the font, you can make it bold, and you can draw a box around your ad. Always draw a box around your ad, okay? And wherever you have the word you or your in there, bold it, make it a bold. Make the word you or your bold in any printed ad you make on Penny Saver or what I'll show you next green sheet. Those ads will always have a higher pull rate than those that don't. Now, if you think about it, so far, I've only talked about small local publications. The reason is they're very inexpensive, sometimes even free, and they're all over US and Canada, okay? Now, here's what I didn't talk about so far. The big giant publications, New York Times, Washington Post, Baltimore Sun. Stay away from the big city publications. I know people use them, but I can tell you get a lot more bang for your buck with the local publications, and also in other words, just less cost per ad and more return calls per ad. Okay, so the bottom line is if you look back over the last generation, large city newspaper publications had to consolidate and merge with each other. Some of them just flat out went out of business because their distributorship was dropping like flies. And if you notice in the real estate section, it went from dozens of pages overnight, went to like 1 or 2 pages, even on Sundays. It was crazy. And of course, we recognized that early on. We stopped putting ads there, and they couldn't make them any less expensive without losing money. So we just stopped doing it. We just started focusing on these small local publications, okay? And remember the same concept of the wording you use Just talk about the benefits first, followed by features, and use the word you or your in there, definitely in the first sentence, and if possible in the first three words or so, okay? Like imagine your friends over watching the sunset over the lake from your back porch, whatever. Just, you get the picture, right? Appeal to senses, appeal to emotion, use the word you or your, and in these kind of ads, you highlight the word you or your, okay? Excuse me, bold it, excuse me. Okay, so that's Penny Saver, they're everywhere, all right? Let me go back here real quick. I just want to see something. So I typed in Penny Saver. Let's see, Penny Saver, Smart Shopper. Let's see, I just want to find the actual right website. Okay, I'm in Toronto, so they're in Toronto. Right, what I want to see was the website, which I'm not seeing here. In any case, let's move on. I want to show you something else. That's Penny Saver. Here's Green Sheet. Green Sheet, old reliable, okay? Again, very inexpensive. I mean, guys, we would pay literally $5 for an ad, and it would last all week long. We could promote open houses. Generally, this one we would use for promoting open houses. So when we had rentals, for example, what we did was we always set them up to show them on Saturdays, different subject for a different day. We just talked about property management for 4 weeks back in May and June. So review those recordings to talk about property management. In there, we talked about when you actually show your rentals. And we always do it on Saturdays in 2-hour intervals, 2 hours per property, anywhere from 4 to 8 showings in those 2 hours. In any case, we would promote that in the pennies and the Green Sheet, excuse me. So let's just go pull this up and see what we have here. Oops, excuse me. Usually you can click on these, but some of these aren't very clickable. Here we go. Let's click on this one. That's for house purchase. Get paid now. Call this number. Blah blah blah. Let's go back. Let's cross that one off. Green Sheet. Let me go back. Hang on 1 second. Green Sheet category real estate. What I want to do is just show you how simple this is. By the way, it is online. It is printed. Same print rules as with the Penny Saver. Is always, always, always appeal to the senses and the emotions. If and when you can put a box around your ad, always do that. And always highlight the words you or your, and use descriptive, emotion appealing wording. Okay, we call these language patterns. Let's click on this. Let's see what's this ad. So these are just simple little box ads. Pretty interesting. And nobody's using photos, or something's going on with my website. My server not letting me see the pictures. I don't know why, but I was getting pictures. In any case, another great tool, Green Sheet Penny Saver. Stuff you can figure out all yourself. Like let's click on ad rates and deadlines just to give an idea of what you're talking about. Okay, all categories $5.75 with the exception of real estate, cars, dogs, which are $6.75. How about that? They charge you a whopping extra $1 to advertise a piece of real estate. 12 words. Let's see, header, text to $2.99 for 10 characters. You can go bigger or feature listings based off the category pricing. In any case, and these are weekly publications, by the way, all right? So you got to get your ad in by Tuesday, 4 p.m. for the following week. But guys, that's literally, that's all it is. It's that easy. Okay, so back here, let me go back here. Craigslist, we talked about. Kijiji, we talked about. Churches, restaurants. Okay, a couple more things here. For those of you who are around any type of a military establishment, I know this is true for U.S. military. I'm not sure if Canada has a sister type publication, but it's called Stars and Stripes, okay? Actually, I don't think that this is necessarily it. It says Stars and Stripes. But when here, you can advertise. Okay, they have podcasts, which is neat. That's kind of new. Let's see, special reports, history, lifestyle, travel. You see different branches, theaters, different theaters of war, front page. In any case, what we would do is this. This might not be the same one I was thinking of, but I got a feeling it is because it has stars and stripes on there. What I'm getting at is here's the printed version. You can advertise yourself. So if you're anywhere near a military base, or even if you're not, you can try this. This is what I did. I didn't just put in here, again, a picture of my business card and post that, which was what every other agent was doing. I would actually, one tweak I did early on that made a huge difference. I put in there specializing in military investors, military real estate investors, specializing in military real estate investors. So anybody around a base, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, you should be doing this. I did it, and here's what happened. I didn't always get the calls directly from the servicemen or women. I got them from the realtors from different bases around the U.S. and Europe, okay? A lot from Germany. And they would call and say, I have a client, he's in the Air Force base here in Germany. He's moving to Fort Langley in Virginia, and he wants to buy a property. He apparently saw your ad in Stars and Stripes. Would you mind representing him, and would you do it on a referral basis? And of course the answer was yes, okay? And all of a sudden I pick up this new client. His agent's back in Germany, all right? I'm over here in the States, so I got all the contacts, and I would get referrals out the wazoo because he wouldn't just buy from me. He would buy from me, get transferred to another location. I would get that referral. And more importantly, because I specialize with investors, wherever he went, he would always call me and say, who do we have in this area that's trained like you are? And I get a unique referral every single time, okay? And here's what the military folks do, guys, in case you wonder why this is kind of a big deal. Generally, it wasn't as prolific while they were active duty. In other words, they would buy a property, get transferred, and what they would do is the property they bought, say in Langley Air Force Base, they had a VA mortgage on it. They would refinance it with a conventional mortgage that freed up their VA eligibility, all right, that they could then go out and buy another property. And that's what they did. Duplex, triplex, fourplex, okay? There are certain rules about this. They got to live in it for a certain period of time, 2 years, I think, something like that. But as long as it's within their eligibility, money-wise, if they're eligible for a $500,000 purchase, they can buy a fourplex or anything, 1, 2, 3, 4 units within that range. And then they have to sell for rental property. Then when they retired, they could keep reusing their VA eligibility. That's where the real money comes in. So you serve them while they're active duty, stay in contact with them, get some referrals, and when they finally retire, wherever they invest, you can help them. If they're in your area, you get all those commissions. In any case, that's what I did with Stars and Stripes magazine. Awesome way to do business. Let's see if there's some information at the bottom. Here's classifieds. There you go. Let's click on that and see if we're getting any specific instructions. Okay. I wonder if I can select. I see this is all cars and houses and stuff like that. Home for rent. There we go. Bingo. Now, obviously, they can put their own stuff in here too. All right. What's a nice looking place? Call Patrick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is a great looking place. Fort Peterson Air Force Base. Fort Carson. I'm sorry, that's where it is. Fort Carson. Nice looking little home there. In any case, you get the picture here. Stars and Stripes magazine. Great way to connect with the military community. Okay. Now, one more thing. Let's do one more thing. We'll wrap this up. It's about 12 till. Okay, it has to do with your local investor club. Now, two things here. One thing, I want you to eventually develop your own investor club. But when you're first starting off, you're going to have basically what we call a workshop scenario. It's not a full-blown club. It's nonprofit. In other words, you're not selling things directly at your workshop. You're not charging a fee to be in the workshop initially, right? What you are doing is establishing yourself and getting commissions from people buying and selling properties who are in your investor group, your workshop, okay? Now, there's another group that is a paid service that you will eventually have, but until that time, you should join your local investor club. They're often called either RIA or ACRE. And RIA is in the United States and Canada. Matter of fact, so is ACRE. RIA, R-E-I-A, some of you already know this, stands for Real Estate Investors of America. All right, ACRE is American Congress of Real Estate. They both are under the same mothership umbrella, if you will, organization-wise. Years ago, back in the 80s, it was all ACRE, right? It's all ACRE. RIA took over eventually, and they want to do their own thing, and basically started dominating the landscape. Here's what I'm getting at. Initially, just join as a participant, not as a vendor, not as a realtor, just as a participant, okay? And it's a nominal fee, usually very inexpensive, 10 to 20 bucks a month, and that's it. And what you can do is participate as a regular citizen, if you will, an investor. You can let people know you got your license, no problem with that. Okay, you can network with people, commingle with people. Yes, you can get business from it, but the bigger, better part is this. The networking, the network's pretty much, but here's the networking I'm talking about. Having access to the contractors, right? Electricians, plumbers, roofers, remodelers, carpeting companies, flooring companies, window companies, siding companies, some concrete companies, sidewalks and decking companies, fencing companies, landscaping companies. All these vendors you don't have access to, and you can check them out by soliciting the other members of the group and saying, who do you use for your landscaping? Who do you use for your electrician? And I'll say, oh, there's 5 electricians here, but you should stick with Joe, okay? What I'm getting at is you now have access to all these vendors that you can use to provide to your clients when they ask you. They're going to ask you, well, I want to flip this home, but I don't know anybody. Who do I have do the roof? Well, you can say, well, here's 3 guys I'm familiar with. And by the way, this is very, very important, so please write this down. You're not actually providing an endorsement. What you're doing is providing a referral, okay? You're saying, I hear these guys do a good job. I suggest you call all 3 and check them out yourself, vet them yourself, basically, right? So you're not being held liable for saying, hey, Lewis said I should use Frank Smith as my electrician, or Frank Smith ripped me off. You don't want to do that. What you would say is, you know what, Lewis gave me 3 contractors. I checked them all out. Unfortunately, the guy I went with was the cheapest, and I probably shouldn't have done that, right? But they're not going to hold you accountable or responsible. So always give them multiple references and make sure that you understand that they're checking them out. You're not soliciting, you're not endorsing them. You're simply providing them contacts that they should check out. But that's the big benefit of joining a local investor club, is now you have access to all the suppliers, all the vendors that other people are already using in the same business you're in, and you can supply them to your clients, okay? Now, you will get some business out of it, like I said a moment ago, but let me just paint a picture for you real quick, okay? So, unfortunately, a lot of those clubs promote what we call, like, the late night gurus, right? You don't have to have cash and you don't have to have credit to buy real estate. Well, that may be possible to do that, and I have done that, but it is a hard way to make a living. It's a hard way to buy properties. It doesn't work very well. Most people want to throw you out on the street. And the fact is, if you're a realtor representing those people, you almost will never cash commission checks. Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? So we don't want you to work with those guys. We want you to work with real investors using real money, buy real properties, so you make real commissions. And they get really good deals, by the way, because the more cash you use, the better the deal. Let's just face it. Let's say I'm, let's pick on somebody here. Let's see who's on here. I'm going to pick on you guys. So hang on one second. Let's take, hey, Lauren is on. Hey, Lauren, a good call today, by the way. So let's say Lauren, Lauren, I'm going to unmute you. Hang on one second. So Lauren, you're self-muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Lauren. Okay. Can you hear me? Lauren, can you hear me? Okay, she's something. So I'll just do this. Lauren will just have to type in her answer. Lauren, let's say I'm going to make an offer to you to buy your house, and I'm not going to offer you any money. No money down, and I want you to finance me, okay? Because I don't want to go to a bank. Lauren, how do you like that offer? Now, let's say I go to you and say, Lauren, I really like your house. I'm gonna put down 50% cash. I've only got to finance 50%. Which offer do you think Lauren's going to like the best? Okay. Well, she's going to probably like the one with the cash. Okay. More skin in the game, more likely to close. If the financing is more likely to go through, it's only 50% loan to value loan that the guy's going to request. In any case, that's what I'm getting at. So we like working with investors that have cash. I know it sounds obvious, guys, but I'm just telling you, you're not going to get many of them at the investor clubs. Okay, we're using investor clubs for different purposes. Just bear in mind there will be people there who have big portfolios, and like me, they started off using the cheap stuff, and they eventually moved into a cash basis, which is what I did. And then they're great to work with. Okay, they'll want to work with you if you know what you're doing. That's why you're doing this program, to be certified, right? So in any case, I love that strategy. Was it 2 years ago? Late February, early March 2018, I was one of the speakers on the annual RIA cruise. I was the one that was on the last night sharing the stage with the president of RIA, the national president. And a really good way to get yourself some business. So in any case, guys, I suggest you do that. I know it's an evening out of the month, but it's just one evening a month. And you're only doing it to get contacts, to learn the model, because eventually I want you to take your workshop and turn it into a paid model too, okay? So in any case, that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Let me, let's see if there's any other questions that I missed here. So Lewis, okay. Is investing in memberships on websites like BiggerPockets worthwhile? What is the best way to market to members, search analysis? So Lewis, great question. I actually, the two guys that run BiggerPockets are in my mastermind group. David Green is one of the co-founders, and he actually just joined Keller Williams, by the way, out in Brentwood, California. So Shannon, not Brentwood down where you are. This is Brentwood up in the Bay Area, East Bay. Just joined, and the other guy's also in my mastermind group called Abundance, and he actually endorsed my 7th book. So BiggerPockets is a great place to be on, Lewis. 1.5 million people. I'm one of the free version members, although I know the original founders. It's very competitive out there to promote yourself and advertise. However, Lewis, because of where you are, Lewis, you're not going to have much competition. I do know people in London, 1 or 2 agents in part of BiggerPockets. But where you are, you can definitely do it and make it work for you. What I would do is this: if you're on BiggerPockets, guys, they allow you to post like articles, things like that, blogs. So if you want to take the blogs that I've done on my business services and just grab them, there's over 700 of them out there, guys. Just grab the ones you want. Don't post them every day, just once a week, post one, okay? And make sure that you're on there, all your contact information is on there. And what you want to do is this most of your posts will be for information, just provide information. You're giving is what you're doing, you're giving, okay? About 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 5, you want to make an offer. Say, hey, I hope you like this. If you want another one that's similar subject, click here. This is where a website comes in handy, where you have a landing page where they go to and grab one of your other blogs, okay? And remember, the stuff that we've created, guys, again, it's not just meant for you to use for yourself. It's meant for you to share with your clients so that you can build strong relationships with your clients. Get the website, build a free website. Most of you have brokers that provide them. I don't know if they let you put a blog page out there or add another page, which usually you can do. Put the blogs out there. You don't have to create them, just use ours, right? That are for to use. Same thing on BiggerPockets. Back to BiggerPockets, Lewis. Is posts always come from contribution, give, and build the relationships that way. It takes a lot of work, but it's a great way for you to establish yourself. Write your own free reports. You can find a recent article on real estate that's relevant, something new and fresh. Put it out there. Say, hey guys, did you see this article? Man, what do you think? This is what it looks like to me in my area. And just get that, do an emotional appeal. Okay, so good question. Let's see. There's on the community side on My Investment Services, it's just getting started, but I'm gonna give you guys a big hint here. Definitely build your profile. If you haven't done it, build a profile, okay, and get out there and start connecting and asking questions. Because here's why: we're getting a lot of business lately from the dental groups. I've recently been interviewed by 3 different dental podcast providers that have 200,000 or more people in their groups, okay, from different parts of North America. And I got another request today. So they are interviewing me, and who do you think I'm promoting on those podcasts? I'm promoting you, promoting you. So I'm telling them about the relationship that we have. There's over 3,000 of us now across the U.S. and Canada. And that's a great presence because there's between 1.5 million and 2 million agents out there, and we're like 0.1%. You got almost no competition. So they're coming. And in Boston, we already know we've got a handful of registrants are not even agents, they're investors, okay? And by the way, one of them runs the largest investor group in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So any of you guys around the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, come to the event, meet this guy. He runs the largest investor group in the area, okay? Jim, what's his last name? Jim and Doug are the two guys. I can't remember the last names, but they're coming, guys, okay? So make sure if you're not registered, you should go there because you're going to meet these folks, right? And by the way, like Lewis, just connect with them because a lot of your clients in Canada are wanting to invest in the States. I know that because I'm one of them, right? So in any case, good question. I appreciate that, Lewis. And by the way, I appreciate all of you being on the website tonight. And remember, big shout out to Shannon Goldsmith. Her birthday was yesterday. Is that right? It was. So happy birthday, Shannon. Shannon, guys, is going to do a demonstration for us next week on the 18th to show you how to use RPR and possibly a little bit of census data to zero lives and mean focus on wherever area you're in, anywhere, to determine based on data where you and your clients should be picking up your rental properties, okay? Even flipping for that matter. So Shannon, thank you for doing that. Hope you had a happy 26th birthday, okay? I know she's laughing there somewhere, but anyways. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. For every one of you, God bless you. Yeah. And I look forward to next week on the 18th. I'm going to be on vacation next week and the week after. Next week, I'm still taking calls. But the week after, guys, I'm going to be with my family in the Outer Banks from North Carolina. It's my mom's family and her brother, my uncle's family. They're both in their 80s, and all of us cousins are getting together and putting on a big week-long family reunion. So ironically, there's no cell phone coverage out there. Hint, hint. If there's an emergency, guys, just email me, try to text me. If there's anything urgent, I don't mind helping you out, but no official strategy calls that week of the 21st, I think it is. But okay, so we'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, take care and God bless you and your families, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.